Firstly, I want to apologize for any noisy sounds in the background. That would be my my kitty cat, TJ Professor K. He's hanging out. Come here, buddy. Oh, you're cute. You're a cutie. So my birthday is in 3 days, and I will be turning 24. 24 isn't exactly old yet. It is kind of leaving the early 20s into the mid-20s, but I was thinking a lot about birthdays in general and the idea of the solar return. And 24 is 2 times 12, and 12 is a very astrologically significant number. And my mom has, every year my mom calls me on my birthday, and she always, and even when I was a little kid, she would always ask, do you feel older today than you did yesterday? And the answer's always been no. But this year does feel different. Like, I don't want to say like a step, but it's kind of like when you're hiking and you can suddenly, like, you just notice the change in elevation, like the air is a little different. I do feel that this year, and it's only been about the last week or two that I've really noticed it, which is interesting too because I was born, my due date was Valentine's Day, and I was born on International Women's Day, March 8th. So I was supposed to be an Aquarius, but I came out as a Pisces with an Aquarius moon, so that's pretty nice. So for my birthday this year, my solar return this year, I really wanted to harness the power of 12 and think of 24 goals that I want to accomplish at the age of 24. Some are witchy, some are spiritual, some are personal, but overall I just want to share what I'm trying to make my life look like at the age of 24 and go forward into the rest of my adulthood and then my elderly age, hopefully using this time to build habits that will serve me in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and even beyond that. Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead, but that's how I think. Here I'm drinking my rooibos tea, and I'm going to just dash through my 24 goals for 24. I hope that they inspire you if you have a birthday or a solar return coming up, or if you're just trying to kind of think about what habits you're creating in your life, whatever. Maybe this will help you. First, I want to be more assertive in speaking my truth. I've been practicing this for about a month now, but when I'm angry I just say, I'm angry, or if I'm hurt I say, that hurt me, instead of trying to be diplomatic in how I feel. And my personality has always been not to rock the boat too much, but I don't want to do that anymore. If I'm uncomfortable with something, or if I don't like something, or if something upset me, I'm going to say why, and I'm going to say that it does, and I'm going to do it immediately. I'm not going to let things roll off my back anymore because for the sake of other people. I mean, there's always a time and a place to kind of go with the flow, but there's also the priority of speaking my truth and being assertive about it. Allow myself to be angry more often. Make space for that feeling. I want to stay on moon rituals, so I'm usually pretty good about lighting a candle or just meditating on full moons and new moons, but I want to do it for the waxing and waning as well all year. I want it to be a weekly ritual with whatever phase the moon is in. So I'm going to make like a nice moon calendar for the upcoming year to kind of help with that. I want to read more. I used to read a lot. I would come home from school and just read. My whole weekends were reading. And then I went to college, and then I had to read a lot more. And then after I graduated, I just took this big break, and I feel like I only read like 3 novels a year now, maybe. And I read a lot of nonfiction now, or I really love how reading makes me feel, so I want to prioritize that more in my life. So this year I want to read 24 books. I don't care if they're fiction or nonfiction, but I'm going to read 24 books cover to cover from March 8th, 2018 to March 8th, 2019. I want to sell more of my art, and this might sound like a little, I don't know, like a little presumptuous of me, but I've sold a few pieces to friends, which has been cool, but I feel like my skills have been developing in a positive way, and my style is getting a bit more unique to myself and more self-expressive, and I think that some of my paintings are sellable. I have a lot of self-doubt to overcome when it comes to my artwork, and confidence to acquire and putting it out there and thinking it's worthy of something, but I'm starting to think it really is. So I want to harness that while it's still there and hopefully sell a couple pieces over this next year. I'm going to finish my novel. I've been saying this for so long because I have like 3 or 4 books that I say 3 or 4 because 2 of them are basically the same story but different environments, I guess. And with like the same characters. I just can't decide which world I want to put them in, but I really love those characters. So I have 3 or 4 books that I have started and outlined and fleshed out, and there's one that's really on my heart, and I am going to finish it. I'm going to finish my novel. I don't need to get it published. I don't even plan to send it to a publisher. I just want it to be done. Then I'm going to have someone edit it, have my friends and family read it, give me feedback, and I'm just going to throw it on Amazon because that's what I really want to do. I'm not trying to be an author, but I do have a story to tell about a character I really, really love, and I just want it to be out in the world. I want to make more YouTube videos. I'm kind of enjoying this. This is fun. I like it. And on the note of online life, I do really want to grow the podcast I'm working on. I'm part of a small podcast thing that I'll link below. It's about magical stuff and occult stuff with a couple of friends, and I'm really feeling like we have something good going, and I really want to dedicate myself to growing it more. I want to start making my own incense that I use for offerings. So this is kind of like a gradual goal, but I buy a lot of incense, which is great. I don't have a problem with burning incense I purchased. That's great and fine. But for incense that I use as an offering, sometimes it feels to me like kind of a cheap offering. Like if I'm like, oh, I need to give you something, deity, let me just burn you some incense. I feel like it would be more powerful and more special if the incense I use for offerings was made by me. And on a similar note, I want to make my own ritual candles, specifically taper candles. I don't mind tea lights, and like small votive candles and things like that are totally cool to buy for me, but for the tall, like taper style, full-on ritual that I mostly just do for new moon, I want to make my own. Make a big painting of Vishnu, like super big. Also make a really big painting of Aset. That'd be so cool, especially if it was like tall enough where I could lean it against the wall, Egyptian style. It'd look, oh my god. Oh, I need to buy canvases because I'm excited about those. Plant an herb garden. Surprisingly, as witchy as I've always been, I'm not very good at taking care of herbs. I've always had a lot of houseplants and succulents and cactuses or tropical plants, things like that. And I do enjoy gardening, especially my mom's garden, but I am not someone who's ever been very good about taking care of things like herbs myself. So I want to make that a thing this year. That noise is my cat, sorry. Get my yoga teacher certification. This is a goal I'm okay with putting off until another year, but I have a good feeling about making that this year. Buy more flowers for myself, like bouquets. Yeah, just buy myself flowers whenever I feel like it. I want to call my friends and family more often instead of like short conversations on Facebook or text message. I want to call and just talk for 45 minutes or an hour and have like a dedicated, present conversation just to catch up. So I did Kundalini yoga for 40 days. I'm almost done with it now, and I've been really bad about keeping up with it. There's definitely been a few days where I've skipped and just meditated instead. Maybe more than a few. But I really am overwhelmed by the growth and nourishment I got from that practice, or I'm getting from that practice. So I think at the age of 24, I want to do 40 days of Kundalini yoga 3 different times. Completely stop making decisions based on what others might think. Embrace my body, all parts of it, even my weird toes. Maybe this isn't so much of a goal as it is a philosophy, but stop living life or adapting my life to fit an idea or a label, but just be. Especially like my spirituality is such a huge part of my life, but it's mine and I don't need to do it the way everybody else is or people tell me I should. It's mine, and my practice and who I am is completely up to me and what it looks like. And I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I'm just gonna live it and be it and be as vocal as I feel like being about it. Go hiking every season. I used to be a big hiker because I had people in my life at the time who were really into hiking, but no one I know does it now, so I just haven't gone as often. I've probably been hiking maybe 3 times in the last couple of years. I want to go hiking at least once a season just to be in nature, experience her seasons, get that going. Hike, hike, hike. Communicate with the people I love better. I am that person who does not text back for like a while. like sometimes like a week or more. I love people. The people that I choose to communicate with are important to me. They're my friends for a reason. I'm just a scatterbrained airhead. Like, I will forget for a full 2 weeks that I was having a conversation with someone. And luckily most of my friends are very forgiving and others are pretty on my ass, which is good too. But it's a quality about myself I really want to change. I am going vegan in this next year. My goal was to go vegan like cold turkey on my birthday, but after really meditating on that, with my current living situation, I don't know if that's really possible. It might cause more headache than it's worth. So because of my current living situation, I will be going vegetarian from my birthday. And my last goal is to start a business. That's already a thing that's happening. I can't believe that I have a tax number, and oh my gosh, that's happening. That's part of my life. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, so this birthday will be really interesting. There's the significance of the number 12, yes, but also Jupiter will be going into retrograde on my birthday. My solar return will be happening, so I was born at 4:44 in the afternoon, and my solar return is happening at 12:35, which is in the afternoon, which is 5 minutes after I have to be at work. So hopefully I will have a moment to myself at that time to kind of just embrace the sun going through who I am, and that'll be intense because then a couple hours later Jupiter will be going into retrograde for a while. And not only will Jupiter be going into retrograde, Jupiter will be going into retrograde in my sign. My Jupiter is in Scorpio, and Jupiter is in Scorpio going retrograde, so it's transiting my chart, and I am so excited and nervous and jazzed, but mostly nervous. I feel something. I feel like a crackle. And it's not just for me. I feel a crackle around the people I'm meeting lately, and I don't know, I feel like so many aspects of my life have been so illuminated and sparkling lately, and the people I keep meeting are so incredible and deep and knowledgeable, and they just appear. And I don't know, maybe the world is getting more magical, or maybe this is what it feels like to get older and find your way. Things just flow and feel natural and right. But whatever it is, that's my main motivation behind making YouTube videos and writing more, is to document all of these feelings I'm having right now and all of these thought processes I'm going through, because I don't want to ever forget this. Life has been difficult, but something about the last 2 years, 3 years have been pure magic, and I'm so excited to go into this next few years before my Saturn return with the sense of optimism and like can-do luckiness that I have right now. I feel unstoppable. Everything feels unstoppable. When my friends have ideas about things, I just believe. I believe. Like, Pisces is the sign of I believe, and I am so believing in everything right now. I believe, I believe, I believe, and I love this feeling of believing, and I don't want to ever let it go. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what's going on in your life right now, or what's on your heart, or what goals you have, because my list is, I'm happy to add to it. I might steal your swag. Have a wonderful and magical day,